the game actually had the title Prince of Persia Assassins. In the game, players would play as the assassins rather than the prince himself and serve as his bodyguards. Interesting to note is that the game would have relied heavily on co-op gameplay, a feature that wouldn't make it into an Assassin's Creed game until the soon-to-be-released Assassin's Creed Unity. At one point in Assassin's Creed 2, you're asked to deliver a letter to a farmer. If you read the letter, it reveals that the farmer has, among other things, attacked his neighbors with a sword. It also states that he has committed crimes against God and nature, and then gives us a reference to a verse in the Bible. If we look up this section in the Bible, the verse in question states that no man or woman must have sexual relations with an animal. So I guess he wasn't only attacking his neighbors with a sword. Altair has only been shown without his hood on once in the entire series. It's during the memory Lost Legacy in Revelations, when he talks to his son before closing himself inside a secret library. I mean, even when Ezio finds his remains many decades later, he is still wearing it. It's fairly well known these days that most of the characters you assassinate, as well as many other side characters, were actual real people. Not only that, but the time and place of their death in the game is often very accurate. But there's even more to it than that, as both the assassins and the Templars have existed. The real assassins were called Hashashin and existed during the Middle Ages. Just like in the game, they did indeed assassinate political figures, and these killings were often conducted in broad daylight in full view of the public. Unlike the assassins in the game though, they did all this only to further their own interests and not for the good and free will of the people. The Templar Order in Assassin's Creed was called Knights Templar in real life and existed within roughly the same time period as the Hashashin. However, in real life these two groups were not enemies. In fact, as far as we can tell, they never even met. And their roles were kind of reversed as well, because the Knights Templar developed safe trade routes, worked with people to forge alliances and to create a safe environment for travelers. All the while, the Hashashin assassinated people for their own benefit. As usual, if I find anything Rule 34 worthy of the subject I'm covering, it just has to be included. It's basically the norm for my videos at this point. But I couldn't find anything about an actual Assassin's Creed porno of any kind, so I guess that's a relief or a disappointment depending on your sick and twisted fantasies. But it is possible that the main protagonist in Black Flag, Edward Kenway, is based on the lead character from the movie Pirates, one of the best-selling pornos of all time. It was released in 2005 and is a pornographic parody of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Aside from their uncanny physical resemblance, they also share the same first name, and the plot is of course about pirates. Intentional or not, who knows? In both Assassin's Creed 2 and 4, there's an Easter egg featuring a giant squid. The Assassin's Creed series also has quite a few references to other games. For example, in Brotherhood there's an achievement called Grand Theft Dressage and a memory titled Castello Crashers. When Ezio meets his uncle Mario in Assassin's Creed 2, he says,
"Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario!"
When Ezio reunites with Da Vinci, he finds what looks like a cardboard box, which is a reference to Metal Gear Solid. In Black Flag, one of the naval contracts is named Papers, Please. You can also assassinate a pirate named Mancomb Seepgood, which is a reference to the secret of Monkey Island. You might have noticed that in the first Assassin's Creed, Altair is missing a finger on his left hand. He actually did this himself just to be able to use his hidden blade. The reason Ezio and subsequent assassins haven't done this is because Altair redesigned the weapon before his death so it could be used without the removal of a finger. The ship that Connor is the captain of in Assassin's Creed 3 is named Aquila, and Aquila is the name of a constellation in our galaxy, which is Latin for the word eagle. The brightest star in that constellation is named Altair, and Ezio also means eagle. It's very likely that Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs exist in the same universe. For example, in Assassin's Creed 4 you can hack into a computer and find a document where the company Bloom from Watch Dogs is trying to pitch their CTOS to Abstergo. And for those of you who's played Watch Dogs would know that the CTOS plays a central role in that game. But the connection also goes the other way around, because in Watch Dogs you can hack into this CTOS system and actually spy on people. If you hack into a certain server, this sequence can be seen.
Why is he doing that? He's an assassin, Dad. Well, I mean, why is he talking to the guy he just killed? It's a confession? Well, that's just dumb. Dad, please.
But that's kinda weird, right? If people in the Watch Dogs universe are playing an Assassin's Creed game, they can't be in the same universe, right? Well, that's what I thought too at first, until I realized something, and here it gets a little complicated. If we go back to Black Flag, we are actually working for Abstergo Entertainment, and their primary product is a gaming console version of the Animus. In fact, the reason given to us for why we're even using the Animus in the first place is to gather footage for a new video game.
Maybe you saw Liberation? That was our first title powered by Animus Tech.
In other words, Abstergo Entertainment are creating Assassin's Creed games within the Assassin's Creed games. So if the two games are connected, it actually would make a lot of sense. But if you're still not convinced, there's an even stronger connection. The CEO of Abstergo Entertainment is named Oliver Gernau.
Ah, there's the boss, Olivier Garneau.
And in an email we learned that he'll be attending a meeting in Chicago, the city where Watch Dogs takes place. But he never arrives at the meeting and is declared missing.
Olivier is missing. He left for Chicago 2 days ago, but no one's seen him since.
In Watch Dogs, there's a mission where you actually assassinate him, thus explaining why he went missing in Black Flag.
This guy is involved in some heavy shit. Patented genomes, genetic memory manipulation, sketchy pharmaceuticals.